Catch Texas in Color every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right, everybody. Now, we heard of tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, and flash flood warnings. But what came out the mouth of our AG, Ken Paxton, is just plain ridiculous. This is what he says. He's issuing advisory cautioning against risk of unsolicited voters registration applications. Why is he doing that? There's already a law out there. There's a law on the books right now about voting. He's on this scare tactic again. He's trying to get people not to register to vote if they get something in the mail, especially in Bexar County, where he's suing Bexar County for sending things out. He has nothing else better to do but to sit there and drum up a way on how to suppress our votes. Ken, it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. Now, I found an article. I found a clip of people talking about what's going on. You know, let's go ahead and roll the tape.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton issuing another warning about illegal voter registration. Victor Jacobo tells us more about the warning as well as the message from voter registration groups today. Victor, what did they have to say?
Yeah, Len, Attorney General Ken Paxton touting his latest warning as an effort to protect election security, but civil rights groups in Texas say they worry it could have an impact on potential voters. Meanwhile, local groups who are trying to boost voter registration say right now they are in the thick of it.
I'm really excited, but also nervous as it is crunch time, and we're really trying to get folks registered to vote.
Abby Trino is the executive director of A-Leaf Votes. She says the organization started in 2022 to boost civic engagement in an area with low participation among its young people. With the November general election approaching, their efforts are ramping up.
We're in the works of making sure there's voter registration drives around A-Leaf ISD and in the A-Leaf area. And then we also are getting ready for pushing out our Get Out to Vote.
Across the city,
we're just trying to be a little bit more creative other than your traditional door-to-door.
Denver Harbor Cares is another organization recognizing the importance of voter registration education as the issue has been front and center in Texas.
We have people that are still telling us, you know, their vote doesn't count, it doesn't matter, and we're trying to change that frame of mind.
Attorney General Ken Paxton today publishing what he calls a legal advisory on the issue of unsolicited voter registration applications. In the advisory, Paxton said people who receive unsolicited applications are not necessarily eligible to vote, and he says it's a crime if those who are ineligible to vote try to register anyway.
As long as people don't knowingly or intentionally make false statements on a voter registration form, they are not violating any laws.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Texas tells KHOU that people lying on voter registration forms is exceedingly rare, and they say Paxton's actions serve as a chilling effect.
Paxton is once again wielding the threat of aggressive and unwarranted criminal prosecutions in an effort to make eligible voters afraid of voting.
National Voter Registration Day is next week on September 17th. The last day to register to vote in the state of Texas is October 7th.
You see, Ken, you worried about something you haven't been as worried about, but I know why you worried. Because you're scared. You scared. People are mobilizing, getting people out to vote. You don't want that to happen. Because one reason why, you have the same still old voters voting for you. These are new voters that you are scared to death of. You do not want them to vote. Matter of fact, you don't want the seniors to vote either. See, you turned around, done woke up everybody now. And now you're running scared. So you're trying to use this 1950 tactic on everybody, trying to suppress their vote. What is wrong with you? Have you lost your mind? Yeah. First of all, you got to have a mind first to lose. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm glad I said that. But here's another clip that I found about what is going on on how people can really find out who you voted for. I found this clip by accident. So I'm gonna roll this clip right here, and then I'm gonna give my opinion on the other side.
Ballot secrecy is one of the fundamental pillars of democracy. So what if ballots in Texas weren't so secret and could be traced back to their voter?
Obviously, we need to fix it.
During a House hearing Wednesday, the Texas Secretary of State's office, which oversees elections in Texas, says that can happen under current Texas law.
In limited circumstances, through publicly available records, you may be able to identify a specific person's ballot.
Over the last few weeks, a Texas political blog known as Current Revolt shared what it alleges to be the leaked ballots obtained through public records of Texas GOP Chair Matt Rinaldi and Congressman and Democratic Senate nominee Colin Allred. After that reporting, Secretary of State Jane Nelson issued an emergency advisory directing counties to redact any information that would connect a voter to their ballot. In a statement, she says, in part, every Texan has the right to a secret ballot, and that right must remain sacred. It is unacceptable for any voter to have their ballot choices publicized. On Wednesday, election officials called that a short-term solution to a long-term problem, and one with roots in efforts for election auditability.
We have a number of counties that, in the interest of transparency, because of the laws we have and because of this push for auditability and transparency, have been proactively publishing a lot of election records that are public. They post their ballot images.
How far back? Do we have any idea?
I think that the big transparency push really started around the 2020 election.
That's particularly the case because there's a second alleged way people are able to obtain ballots, through some sort of algorithm that hasn't been publicly identified by the people getting these ballots. That's the subject of a lawsuit currently working through the courts, but the state says without the details of that algorithm, the legislature could be up against a devil it doesn't know to make ballots secure.
So there it is, Ken. Did you check that out? How are people finding out who voted for who? There's something going on there. You should be focusing on that to find out how are people getting our information like that. But you're not. You too busy worrying about suppressing the vote, thinking there's fraud out there. You got all this going through your head on what's going on. See, what you're doing, you're assuming. And Ken, I'm gonna tell you something. Assumption is the mother of all screw-ups, and you're screwing up. You should be going after the people who could find out who he voted for. That's your job. Do your job. Your job is not suppressing the vote. I'm gonna keep on saying it. Suppressing the vote, suppressing the vote, suppressing the vote. That's what you are doing because you are running scared. You're running scared on the youth, the ones you talked about 4 years ago. Well, maybe you didn't talk about them, but you didn't talk to them. They seen all the dirt that you've been doing. Now, kids are funny. They know the truth. They know what's going on. Now, imagine if the 18-year-old to 25 got together. You have somebody else to what I can't think of the word anymore. You have somebody else say, I'm gonna take their vote away too. You know, this is just asinine what you're doing. That's all there is to it. I can't say anything else than that. So, people, the only way we're gonna beat the system is to vote the system out of office. That is the only way we're gonna do it. So, if you got an event going on, find yourself a deputy registrar and come up there and they can register people. Any event going on throughout the state of Texas, it should be a deputy registrar there. Because here and here, we can't do nothing. But if we get this here and here together, we could take over Texas. I'm Ronald Gordon with Texas in Color. Be sure to like us on our YouTube channel, Texas in Color, and look at all our other videos on Texas in Color on Facebook. Thank you for watching Texas in Color. Please tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you'll be notified each and every time we go on live.